The story goes that apparently the former royal known as the Duke of Sussex is planning something exceptionally, well, damaging, some people might say, yet another bombshell. But what's the truth behind that rumour? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, it's an interesting thing, isn't it, with Prince Harry, because he's kind of locked himself, I believe, in a corner. You know, there you have the ongoing battle for this security, which apparently is, well, in his imagination. As we've seen, his elder brother was in New York recently, and yes, had protection officers, as Harry does, but very safe and meeting the public at close range. There's always that danger, but of course, if you go out courting it, it's very much a danger, isn't it? And Harry and Meghan, when they come to town, like to court it. There's no two ways about it. But what's interesting here is that the story goes that Harry now is very much keen to once again vent his anger because he feels that he's been very much aggrieved. Now the story, and this is, I have to tell you, a rumour so far, is the fact that depending on the outcome of what happens with this security hearing, the one that got tossed out the last time because basically he was told stop being petulant and it's not happening and the British public don't want to pay for it. Well, he pushed ahead, and this is going to cost him a lot of money, naturally, if he loses. And the real reason is, you see, this is very worrying for the British monarchy because I've been told from an excellent source that if Harry suddenly develops the fact that he now needs to earn more money, then it's back to the things that he actually earned a lot of money from, or they are now diminishing naturally because Spotify went and Better Up is a little bit dodgy, shall we say, allegedly. And then of course you've got the streaming giant Netflix, which after Polo is rather reticent to snap open its purse, as one can imagine. But moving forward, what you have is a situation now with Harry looking, at least tentatively, about another book. Now, as you know, there was an alleged 4-book deal with Penguin Random House, and there was this very much muted story that, well, you know, once sadly the Queen passed on, he would write the definitive book. But what I've been told from a source working in Penguin Random House is that Harry came with a lot of problems, not just his petulance, as one can imagine, allegedly, but the fact that, you know, there was £1 million for the ghostwriter. And if you remember, Harry said he could have written oodles more, he had so many more stories. But as that source pointed out to me, he did have a lot of stories, but with simply no backup. It's a bit like he said, she said. Now, obviously the British monarchy are very reluctant to go down a legal route, but even Harry knows that he couldn't come out with some of the more outlandish claims that were placed before them the first time around. So what would he focus on? Well, apparently he wants to focus on the last few years and the trauma, the strain and the damage that has, you know, been inflicted upon him and his cable TV actress wife, Meghan Markle. All brought on by themselves, one might suspect, because they could have stayed within the boundaries. They didn't need to live there, but each and every time they returned back, they would have been very much welcomed and looked after. But they decided to break away, making sure that they fractured their own family, as Meghan did with hers at the start of this relationship, making sure there were no fallbacks, nobody to ask any questions to. Now, the obvious people will come forward. There would be a book deal on offer, but it certainly won't be in the region of what Harry picked up with from Penguin Random House. You see, they've moved on. They're already looking for bigger fish to fry. People like the disgraced, some people suggest, BBC presenter Gary Lineker, the former footballer. Apparently they're offering him £1 million to tell his story once, of course, he finally quits the BBC. That should be interesting, given his outspoken views on social media. And this is the world of celebrity that Harry is now embedded in. You're hot and then you're not, and you have to do something to make yourself hot again. The thing is, has Harry really burnt everything that could have possibly been of any interest, and more importantly, any interest to get a lot of money? Or is he prepared to go even darker than previously? So far, not many tempting offers on the table is what I've been told. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.